Alright, today we're working on this 1998 Saturn sc2. I made a valve cover video on it before, and now we're going to change these motor mounts. So I picked up these motor mounts. Really, I think possibly only this one is bad, maybe this one, but it's so cheap to just get all four, so we're just going to do all four. I got my jack supporting on the oil pan. I'm going to jack it up a little more. And then I'm just gonna start with this one because it's the easiest one. So it just looks like 2 bolts on the side and 3 here. I've done this a million times. So just time I replace it. All right, we took the passenger side wheel off, and here is the dog bone mount for this passenger side. So it looks like we gotta jack up the engine. I'm assuming we can jack it up without having to undo that top mount, because otherwise people in reviews would have said to do that. So hopefully I don't have to do that. Look at my water pump, not leaking or anything, so yeah, definitely the coolant definitely did not come from my water pump. All right, let's put a jack on the oil pan again, lift it up a little, and try to get that out of there. Alright, so it's a 213s it looks like. Oh, there might be a nut on the other side. I don't know. I'm just gonna spin it and see what happens. Hopefully they don't just collapse. So I'm gonna try to go slow. Alright, this one's coming out. Alright, I got a ratchet for this one since my impact can't get in here. This is a weird spot. I'm sure if I turn the wheel, the impact could get in here. Okay. Alright, got it. I've actually seen people do this without jacking up the engine, so maybe it is possible, but I don't know how you would be able to wedge it out there without jacking the engine up. I need my electric ratchet, but it's just covered in spiders and I don't want to mess with it right now. Alright, one giant bolt out. It's actually not that big, but okay, that one came out too. So the bolt on the right is shorter. Okay, it is possible to wedge this out of here, but this is gonna be a challenge on its own. Gonna try jacking the engine up a little. This is the axle right here. So if I turn the wheel, it's not going to give me any more clearance. I might just have to bend the tab. You don't want to puncture a hole in your CV boot right there. Alright, finally got the old one out. Man, it's a tough squeeze in there. I ended up having to loosen the top motor mount that I just did. So if you're doing it, do this one first. So this new one it has less of a profile. Like this one has some edges that was making it difficult to get out. I'm hoping that means this one's not too bad. We'll see. So big side in, just gotta wiggle it into the right place. And okay, now can it fit in the holes? There we go. Got one hole lined up. Okay, I gotta get the top engine mount back on because it's a little funky right now, but this one should go in. All right, new mount is all in. Let's take a look at the old one. So honestly, it doesn't look that chewed up. The bushing here, maybe I can move it a little with my hands, but I don't think this was really that bad. But the rubber here, it's getting really soft. So it was a good replacement. This definitely was not the problem, but wasn't a bad idea to replace. Driver sides, I don't really know where this mount is. I'm just gonna take a wild guess and say it's under this battery area. So I'm gonna take the battery out, see what I find. Not too sure. And I'm pretty sure the dog bones probably take this wheel off and it's right in the same spot, just opposite side. So we'll see. All right, with the battery stuff out of the way, here is the dog bone mount. You probably could get to it with just taking the intake off, but I wanted to look anyways because I know this valve body gasket is leaking. Or at least I know there's some sort of leak coming from this automatic transmission. You can see, hopefully it's pretty wet back there. So I have to figure that out, but let's get the mount out. I got the transmission supported right now, and it looks like 213s again, and we'll just slide them out. I got the mount out, and wow, this one was definitely a problem. So this side's nice and good. This side has a lot of play. Like, that's ridiculous. Should be rock solid like this one. So we'll put the new one in. I've been debating about putting that transmission mount in, the bottom one that I couldn't find earlier. I know where it is. It's just behind the shield right here. Take this plastic cover out and there it is. The only problem is I've been seeing people having to lower the subframe just a little bit to be able to get the old one out and the new one in. I don't really want to mess with that. And that mount it doesn't really have like a bushing, it's just more like a rubber pad, so, or polyurethane pad, so it should be all right. But anyways, the mount that was on the passenger side, those were the bad ones, so I think we'll be all right with just doing 3 out of the 4. All right, these two, they should get tightened to like 50 something foot-pounds, if you can fit a torque wrench in there, or just do it as tight as it was coming out. So basically pretty tight, as tight as I can get with this 3/8. All right, let's start it up, see if there's any noticeable change. Actually, I think that made a huge difference. Yeah, that made a huge difference. So I ended up, like I was saying, I did the 3 engine mounts, and then this transmission mount I didn't do, but it's basically just a bunch of polyurethane, and unless it looks ripped, which it didn't, then it should be fine. I mean, most of it is just metal, and there's just a little bit of polyurethane bushing inside, but there's no really moving parts. It doesn't bounce or anything, so it should be fine. But I was reading, if you're trying to get it out, this stud is too long to slide it out, so you have to drop the subframe just a little bit, or you could probably undo the passenger side top engine mount and then jack up, have a jack at the engine and a jack at the trans, and lift both of them up at the same time. But overall, that's just a lot more work than I really wanted, because honestly, I doubt it really needed that. But those 3 engine mounts really solved the problem. So now I got a mess to clean up, but that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.